he's ignoring me.
I forget who's all,
Yeah,
I
we're
saw
live
one
now.
of them yesterday,
Little bit
when I
here.
was up there, but, God, I can't remember who that.
So we're on to Spearfish next week?
Austin.
Me? I canceled my reservations.
Yeah. Walking down the hall, but, and said hi to him, but
Oh.
that's about it.
I just couldn't believe that when I heard it. I still wanna get confirmation that it's a fact, but
From a concerned.
that makes no sense. There's like 50 of them there
Yeah.
in the cadre. I mean, so you're talking about what, top 15 cadre on top of that?
And where does this put us
Oh,
on the road?
oh,
Trying to certify officer.
Right. So we're gonna close it down. They're less than weeks away from graduating, and now we're gonna have to send them back there.
Very observant.
Keep-
Very observant.
We got an end before we start here.
Yeah, we don't have a quorum yet. We are live, but we don't have a quorum yet.
Yeah.
So if I wanna make a phone call, I should go somewhere else.
Yeah, you can leave my office if you want. It's fine.
I'm just gonna call the sheriff and see if he knew about that.
Right.
We got people up there.
Yeah, I seen it on Facebook earlier today.
Oh, nobody retired. SBRS is closed. I think we're too.
These guys are late.
Very difficult.
Huh?
You're trying to maintain social distancing?
Yeah, 'cause they cut off last night.
my face today.
No, I know.
Which I don't get a girl.
Did you?
That's right.
I think I like this.
We stay down here, but we don't.
They said the state basketball tournament is postponed, but all state managers canceled that.
It's crazy.
I mean, it's just a man.
You just don't think.
I didn't go there.
I'm sitting on gas like,
Oh, it does? Yeah.
I can't do this.
Yeah.
It's got some funky issues.
Nice.
Just go swap out at Nate's. Nate's is much nicer.
I don't think we, yeah, it is. I don't think we make any changes in your guys'
Not bad. How are you guys?
Living the dream as always.
All right.
How are you? Yeah. With my massive lights going on here.
Those for public use, to take one?
I don't think those are for you.
Depends if I hear anybody cough, they'll get one.
I'll print more off.
No, you don't have to, Nate.
No, you guys do. That's correct, they did shut it down for a week,
That's what I
and then
heard.
they're gonna resume, and they're giving them some assignments to do while they're off, so.
I hope they get the journal. That's the highlight of the academy.
from Microsoft Word.
What? Did?
Yeah, they're gonna,
Really?
I think that will do the mark.
work the way it sounds.
Why did he step down?
Yeah.
He said. Makes the guy happy that he has all of his retirement and baseball cards right now. What's that? Bill Gates stepping down from the board of Microsoft.
Did your husband, you got a sleepover set up there?
It's usually what happens when I drive.
I've never seen somebody sleep so much during a class at the academy and still ace every test, like you need the question before they ask.
Sounds like high school.
Stellar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why his name is Hollywood. Hollywood Bauer. You didn't know when you named it that?
No.
I nicknamed it that.
Probably just for
School?
that reason.
No, for a lot of reasons, but that was one of them, was that he just was stellar at everything he did, but he slept all the time.
Yeah.
And his video that we did.
That's the same type of hat Bill.
Officially closed.
Tom,
We had to do.
It's officially
Same
closed.
type of hat that.
the 16th to the 20th,
Built.
Yeah.
23rd.
and that includes totally kids.
It's a 1971 Green Bay Packer coach's side.
I cut the message off, but I assume
I just got a text,
you got a text.
all activities are canceled too.
sure you would appreciate me sharing that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna keep that around. Thank you.
Look at all the stuff I got over the last couple of days.
We call it peddler.
Like that. Ready?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you all for coming. Today, we're just going to be talking about COVID-19, our response plan, and I'm going to have Harold kind of address this. This has been a pretty fluid situation, and we just wanted to keep our ducks in a row, get ready for what may come. So I would ask for approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second. Okay, two Chads, Chad Wolf, Chad Riley, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you. Harold, if you could kind of catch us up with what's going on in the county level.
I will try. You may have, seen or heard some of the things that are going on. We had a department head meeting Wednesday and went over some things. And the big thing we're trying to do is get everybody to take proper precautions without causing panic and everybody getting overexcited. I think the national media has done a good job of that already. And we, at the county level, have now got a sign out in front, and you may have seen that on Facebook, that says stop. If you do not feel well, don't come in, call the number that's listed there. We'll make arrangements to help you online or over the phone, or come out and work with you to do what you have to do. At the security desk, the plastic trays you put your personal property in when you go through the scanner and so forth, are disinfecting them every time somebody uses them now. The custodial staff is wiping down doorknobs, handrails, flat surfaces, way more than they did before. At the auditor's office, treasurer's office, and the register of deeds, they've got spray they can use after somebody has been there to disinfect that counter, just as a precaution. They don't do it while they're there, but as soon as they leave before the next person comes, they spray that down. In the offices themselves, they're not doing anything more than normal. Nobody's wearing a mask or that type of thing. We've encouraged people to work as normal. Some places are trying to make half the staff stay and work from home and the other half go to work. And that may work for some things, but not for all things. An example being State Radio tried that through BIT, and you can't diagnose a problem or fix a radio from home. So that may have to change. It was just something they experimented with. So, looking through your plan here, I would say you're right on track with what's going on in most places. And like I was telling somebody here, I've spent a big part of the day trying to bring some common sense to some of these people that are way overexcited. And even one of our employees, our department heads in Canton, did this Wednesday, and finally got him to slow down and say, you're doing the exact thing we're trying not to have happen, and that's over-respond or get overexcited. We need to take every precaution possible, with the proper hand washing. If you don't feel well, stay home, and that sort of thing. Cover your cough, sneezes, and beyond that, I haven't been discouraging public meetings yet. Not in large groups maybe, but the 4-H people have got a fundraiser plan for this weekend out at the former Goldman building, and I think they're gonna continue with it, with extra hand washing stations and some disinfectant and that sort of thing. So I said it's kind of up to each individual group or agency how they wanna handle this. And beyond that, and I know some of the churches are ready too. I just got an email from our pastor saying we're gonna have church, we can live stream it, people can get on and watch it that way. And then reiterating in that also that if you don't feel well, stay home. no handshake greeting, no offering being passed, we'll put it in the back of the church, let people drop their offering in as they leave, so. With that, if you have any questions, I try and answer them.
I got a call today from a concerned resident about a funeral on Monday. The senior citizen is hosting their luncheon afterwards. And if it's gonna be closed, why can't we have it open? I'm just passing on a message and what your thoughts are
From
on
the senior
that.
center,
Yeah,
we'll have to, is Klusman running that funeral, I assume?
correct.
We'll have to talk to them.
Okay, and I asked how many people, under 50, she thought, and I'm like, well, I said, we got a meeting tonight, you wanna come down and visit? Can't you handle? I said, well, I can handle it all right, but I don't know if it's gonna be the message you wanna hear coming back, so I don't know your thoughts on it, or,
We're closing the senior center effective immediately.
okay,
We spoke with Center for Active Generations this afternoon, they'll still deliver meals, but we're gonna close it down. So we'll have
They're
to
doing
talk,
those all home delivery, aren't they?
home delivery will continue, so.
That's all.
It'll be closed to the public.
Yeah.
Shut it down in public and just.
Even like Hartford School was closed the last couple days, and some of the students that get reduced or free meals, the deputies have been taking those around to their homes. So they're doing that up there also. And I get information from the city of Sioux Falls all the time as to what they're doing and so forth, and I haven't seen anything different than what we're proposing to do here on a large scale, so. Regan Smith and I are in contact quite often, as I am with Sandy Friends, who's part of the health department up there, so. I would really discourage going beyond what you've got in this plan, you know, letting people come in as they need to. You've got precautions in there with gloves and, ways to sanitize things, and I know, did you find, masks?
I've got
I
some.
mean, not the mask, but the shields for eye shields and
I'm
gowns.
still looking for shields.
Yeah, I don't know where to get those either.
I went and bought safety goggles yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna make do with those for time being. They gotta be wiped down after every use. I've got a few, gowns. I'm hoping to get more next week.
Good.
But I'm searching all over.
Yeah, you can talk to Robbie over there. They've got some in my storage in Canton there if he wants to share them. But what I've done from my agency with all the first responders is given them N95 masks that they can wear on calls. Harrisburg T and Worthing go on every medical call that happens there. And I furnished all the law enforcement in the county, from the sheriff's office to the local PDs with N95s. I've got a lot of surgical masks over there too that we can use if we have to. And like I told them, nobody's gonna question why you're wearing a mask right now. Just tell the patients it's for their protection as well as your own, so. And I've got more masks over there yet too, so. The only fire department I haven't covered yet is Hudson, and that's gonna be tomorrow or Monday. Which includes the ambulance over there too, so. Anything else you can see, Alan, that,
No, we're kinda following what Sioux Falls is doing and some of the other services too, and
yeah.
going from there.
I know with the Sioux Falls Fire, and I think the rural fire departments too, they're still being notified of a medical call. They do respond, but now they're gonna wait outside, and if the paramedics need help, they're gonna ask for it, and then they'll go in, otherwise they're gonna stay out, so.
I had discussions with T, Chancellor and Worthing Fire Departments, because they go on, first respond to all of our calls. And I have not heard back from them yet. They're all having meetings this weekend and then Monday on whether or not they're gonna continue to respond unless it's a life-threatening emergency. If
Well,
it's not a life-threatening emergency, they may not respond and just let us take it, so we're not
Yeah.
exposing extra individuals.
Or they can stand back and do like Sioux Falls is doing, wait, if you need help, it's there. If you don't, fine. We talked in dispatch about how to handle, they were wondering, are we gonna not dispatch them anymore? And they said, no, we're gonna keep our protocol the same. The dispatchers are going to ask a few more questions that may indicate the possibility of the virus being present or somebody being infected. Communicate that to the fire departments and then let them make the choice as they're responding to the call. We can't really dictate saying, no, you shouldn't go here, and we shouldn't have to do that either. Let the agency make that decision on their own. We felt that was the proper way to handle it, rather than change our whole protocol dispatch for a week or two and then have to go back to what we were doing, so. And I think everybody agreed to that. That makes sense to you folks here, so.
Okay.
Can I keep a copy of this, Nate?
You got it.
Okay, good.
I would get a hold of them like tonight or, yeah.
Thanks, Harold.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you know, like, we normally have coffee after church, that's being canceled. You know, we have a meal on Wednesday evenings for Lenten services, that's canceled. So we're doing everything but calling off the main church. So that's what we're doing there. And I haven't talked to Presbyterian or
That's
Reformed.
essentially what they're doing.
They're doing the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, good. And I haven't talked to Catholics either, so.
All right.
Anyway, if you have more questions, don't hesitate to call. Somebody in here's got my cell phone, I'm sure. So,
Thank you very much, Harold. All right,
you got it.
Thanks, Harold.
I'll run through this, a response plan. We've kind of broken it down. The community plan, the city encourages the public to limit interactions, use proper hand washing and excellent hygiene to prevent the spread of disease. The city encourages local businesses, organizations, and faith-based communities to take precautions to limit the spread of disease and to follow the CDC guidelines and to continue business operations. The city will work with the Lincoln County Emergency Management and South Dakota Department of Health when and if the emergency operation plan is activated. The city encourages the community groups and organizations to postpone events and large gatherings until further notice. The city encourages its residents to take a common sense precautions to limit social interactions, such as limiting non-essential trips to counties with known or confirmed cases of contravirus, including Sioux Falls. Guideline continuity of operations, continuing to provide critical services such as sanitary sewers, drinking water, law enforcement, and EMS during this pandemic remains a top priority for the city of Lennox. While reported cases in South Dakota remain limited, the city is adopting the following plans. Until a case of contravirus is confirmed in Lennox, finance and administration, front desk personnel will use gloves for all public interactions such as taking payments for utilities or other services. Workstations, restrooms, counters, door handles will be wiped down with a disinfectant wipe or solution each evening. Encourage the public to pay utility bills or other fees online or over the phone. Individuals needing assistance in doing so should contact City Hall. The next one, Public Works. Limited close contacts with members of the public during your workday. Vehicle handles, steering wheels, building doors, workstations will be wiped down with disinfectant wipes or solution each evening. Ambulance. Masks, goggles, and gloves will be worn on all medical calls until further notice. Ambulances will be wiped down with a disinfectant wipe or solution after each call. Services for a minimum of 2 hours. Upon completion of the 2-hour time, the ambulance will be disinfected. Order disinfection and infection control. PDE supplies will to ensure availability for each department. No riders or extra personnel will be allowed on calls unless requested for critical care. Police. Gloves will be worn on each stop or service call. Workstations and patrol vehicles will be wiped down with disinfectant wipe or solutions after each shift. Officers will respond only to medical calls that involve trauma or need immediate life-saving measures. In such instances, the responding officer will use gloves, masks. In-school patrols will be suspended. Traffic patrols at the schools will continue as normal. Library. The Lennox Community Library is closed to the public until further notice. Park and Recreation. Current planning and recreation programs will continue. The Lennox swimming pool opening will remain on schedule. Senior Citizen. The City of Lennox will immediately close the Lennox Senior Citizen Center to public. Meals will be continued to be delivered to the home. Building permit and inspections. Inspections will continue as planned. Personnel will utilize glove in conducting all inspections. Public meeting and events. Summer sign-up, the event will be canceled. An online event will be explored. Election day. Election day on April 14th will continue as planned. Voters will wash or sanitize their hands upon entering City Hall and upon completion of voting. Voting station pens, tables will be wiped down with disinfection wipe or solution after each vote. City Council and Planning meetings. City Council and Planning Commission meetings will continue as scheduled. However, residents are encouraged to attend these meetings virtually through the city's live streaming service on YouTube. Residents wishing to speak during public comment are encouraged to submit statements or comments in advance to be read on their behalf and or distributed to the City Council. Library story time. This event will be canceled until further notice. Non-essential employee travel will be suspended. Okay, this is all what we're doing right now. There's, to my knowledge, been no confirmed case. I looked at Alan right away, he's shaking his head. No of the contravirus being in Lennox or in this county that I know of. Coronavirus, sorry. When a case is confirmed in Lennox, the city will respond on the availability of essential and non-essential personnel. This determination is not a decision as to the worth of a position, but rather the necessity that that position services during the time of emergency. The following table provides a determination of which personnel fall into which category. As you can see, essential city administrator, finance officer, street foreman, street maintenance specialist 2, law enforcement, ambulance. Under non-essential, administrative assistant, utility billing clerk, parks and recreation specialist, library director and librarians, and building inspector. All personnel who are not sick or showing symptoms will continue to work either at their duty station or remotely. Non-essential personnel who are sick will be required to stay at home upon the onset of symptoms similar to those of the virus. In an effort to remove any barrier to employees staying at home to contain the spread of the disease, this time will be paid and will not be drawn upon PTO hours available to the employee. Employees will return to work once they are symptom-free for at least 24 hours. Essential personnel who are sick will continue to work as needed upon the onset of symptoms, but will take the following steps to limit the spread of the virus. Masks and gloves will be worn at all times on duty unless working remotely. Sick personnel will maintain physical separation from the other personnel at the public at all times. Essential staff showing symptoms will complete those duties deemed necessary by the city administrator. Upon completion of those duties, essential staff will return home and resume isolation. First responders will work to limit shifts by sick essential personnel. Finance and city administration. City Hall will be closed to the general public. Front office personnel will use gloves for all public interactions such as taking payments or utilities or other services. Non-essential personnel may be required to stay home. Staff will work remotely to the extent possible. City Hall may close to the public. Workstations, restrooms, counters, door handles will be wiped down with a disinfectant wipe or solution throughout the day and each evening. The city encourages, let's see here. Okay. The city of Lennox will immediately close the, continue delivered, no, I'm sorry, that's on the back page.
Right about Public Works. There's one left.
The city encourages the public to pay utility bills, right?
Yep.
Or fees online or over the phone, and to complete any city-related business remotely whenever possible. Public Works, limit close contact with members of the public during your workday. Vehicle handles, steering wheels, buildings, doors, workstations will be wiped down with disinfectant. Ambulance will continue on as before. Police will be about the same thing as read before. Libraries closed. Park and Recs programs will be postponed. Opening will be discussed in weeks prior to the scheduling opening. Senior citizens will remain closed. Building services inspections will be suspended. Public meetings, all those will be canceled. Election, all voters will use gloves and wash hands upon entering the building. City council and planning meetings, the planning commission meetings will continue as scheduled. However, residents are encouraged to attend meetings virtually again. Department heads will not be required to attend the meetings. Library story time will be canceled. Non-essential employees, travel will be suspended. So just gears up another notch.
Mayor, just a couple of edits that I'm noticing need to be made in this document yet when we do make the approval, or when we have a vote or a motion. I would suggest the edits. The in-school patrols for police right now, with the school being closed for the next week, that's obviously not going to happen anyway. We'll keep that in there in case further, in case the school opens back up. When a case is confirmed in Lennox under finance and administration, that second bullet point, that obviously is a bit redundant. If we're closed, we're not going to be having public visitors, so we'll remove that.
You looking at bullet 1 and bullet 4? I'm sorry, bullet 1 and, is bullet 1 and bullet 5 about the same or not?
Yes, yeah, we'll remove 5 as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So bullet 2 will remove, bullet 5 under finance and administration, and the last bullet point under there, city encourages, will say will require the public to pay by phone or online. Obviously, they can still drop it off here. We'll use gloves for those payments. They'll drop it in the Dropbox instead.
Would it make sense to put something in there regarding the election day if that stays at, to encourage absentee voting?
Denise and I need to talk about how we can do absentee voting in these cases.
Okay.
We don't have the equipment set up for that, so we'd have to figure out if either the county has equipment we can use, which is unlikely given there's a bunch of other elections in the county that day,
Right.
or if there's other guidelines that the state has for us. We've heard
Okay.
nothing from the state in
That's fine.
terms of changing any requirements there, so
Just a thought to keep
absolutely.
your people like.
Do we really want essential staff here if they're sick?
Essential staff here? No, not necessarily. In City Hall, essential staff, we can do pretty much anything remotely now. We've got plenty of connections to the data and information we need here that we can do from home or really anywhere. When we talk about essential personnel working when they're sick, no, I really don't. But in some cases, we have no choice.
Yeah, I get that, but I was gonna say I would encourage them to work from home
Yes.
if that's the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's possible.
The issues we have with, some personnel obviously can't work at home,
Right.
PD, we're going to have to do patrols.
Yeah,
We've talked about how we can, if we do have, we lose 2 or 3 officers to illness, we can run shifts for a while on 2 officers. It won't be fun, it won't be pretty, and we'll probably have to get a cot or 2 and keep those at the PD, but it can be done. In Public Works, really the only immediate needs I see there is if we were to get a snowstorm. We're obviously going to have to clear streets to a degree. But the other concern there is sewer and water. We have to keep our sewer and water testing and sampling consistent, so.
I guess I look at it this way, we all put up with flooding around here and stuff. It's just like putting in some sandbags is what we're doing. We're filling up the sandbags. We don't know how many we'll need. or what we'll need, but we need to get our stuff together just to prepare. And I wanted to get this meeting done tonight so that the council and everybody can have the weekend to look it over and think about it and see what other things they see happening. I would like to put in an accurate what we talked about tonight and then revisit it again on Monday to after everybody's got a chance to look it over. If you would motion to approve what we went
So
through.
moved.
Second?
Can we, as amended?
As amended.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wolf and Sam, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, then, like I said, I encourage the council to read through it. There's a lot of information coming through. CDC is my main source that I rely on. They're the experts in this, so.
So the mayor's statement, what you have in front of you, that'll go out on Facebook immediately, along with a link to our website as soon as that's active, with the entire plan that we approved tonight.
Good. With that, I'd look for a motion to adjourn and we can move on. So moved. Yeah. Second. Second, Chad. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We're in adjournment. Thank you, Sam.
He wants to vote.
It's hard not to.
So good. I thought that we were saying.
You gotta got 2/3 majority vote out.
People? Maybe 8?
We don't get 6 people, we go to those.
Yeah, we need more of those. So far, I think I don't know. And I got a case of that stuff.
Oh.
Folders that you guys have.
So this-
And then,
So,
We were trying to figure out where we were from.